guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Kentucky Plant Daddy, and today I'm going to talk to you about my Monstera. I have 8 types of Monstera. Some of them are just like variegated versions of the others, but I will go ahead and say 8. And I think I'll go ahead and start out with the first one. It is kind of your common Lowe's plant, but it is just really one of my favorites is the Adansonii. This is a green one, and I got this from Lowe's. It was in their terrible soil. I got this as one of my first plants and tried to keep it healthy in that, and it never was. So my husband actually knocked this over when he was cleaning and snapped it, so I had to cut it up, and then I put the cuttings in leca once that I figured out what I was doing. And this is the root system that this plant has in leca, which is like really cool. So this was quite bigger just about 2 days ago, but I took probably 4 or 5 leaves off of it. And with those cuttings, once I get a little bit of roots on it, I'm going to put it on a moss pole and see how it grows, because it's such a quick grower. I'm sure that on a moss pole it'll be extremely beautiful. So this is Adansonii, and like people sleep on this plant because it's so common, but like it's just so easy. It's common for a reason, and like even though it's common, it still looks unique. Like when people come to your house, like they're like, ooh, like look at this jungly plant. It's just really easy plant. You can grow it vining, you can grow it up a pole. This one's just kind of like chilling in a glass vase. This is a closed system, so I don't know how long that will last for, but looks good for now. We'll see how the cuttings turn out and get those on a pole. The second plant is the same plant, but it's the variegated version, is my Albo Variegated Adansonii. So I bought it as the single leaf cutting. It's like a half moon. It's like really pretty. I think I got it on the Facebook plant group for $40 something. And then it put out this leaf very quickly. I've probably only had this plant like 3 weeks. So this was just a little growth point, barely, whenever I got it, and now it's this white leaf. It does have green, like right here on the edge, and then like right in the middle. So unfortunately, I'm not quite hopeful because it is already pushing out a growth point, and that looks like it's going to be very, very white. So you guys send out some thoughts and prayers for this plant, because if it's white completely, I'm probably going to have to chop it back to here and see if I can get some activation from the green side of this plant. But I mean, it's not attached to the moss pole. I just have like the moss pole ready, because if that next leaf comes out, like I was ready to be like boop, but here we are, no green leaves. Hopefully I can do something with this. Maybe not. It's just all up in the air. So my next Monstera is Peru, Monstera Peru. She's beautiful. I got this plant from Lowe's, and it was in terrible soil. So I took it out of soil, and I actually didn't chop the roots. I just put this thing in leca, and it has been fine ever since. This is like one of the best plants that like adapted. Like it didn't give me any issues. I think maybe one of the vines didn't take, and I just pulled it out. But I mean, it's been growing, it's vining, it just looks so good. This is also a closed system, so I don't know how long that'll last, but like, look at this plant. Like, I love this plant. It just looks so good. I like the deep veining and texture of it. It's one of my favorites, even though like, I mean, it's super available. Like I got this at Lowe's for $17 or something. But so, and then the fourth Monstera that I have is the same plant but variegated, kinda. So I got this from Plant Haven, Toronto for $19, and it came as a 2-leaf cutting. And then I had like some major issues out of it. Like I pulled it out and it had like rotted from the roots. So I took it and I washed it off and I just like dunked it in some peroxide. And then after I let it dry, I put it in stratum. So it was in stratum until like 4 days ago. It had really good roots. I don't know if you can see the roots are there. Um, but it had good roots. And also, so it lost a leaf and then it got a leaf. So we're back to like 2 leaf cutting of both of the cuttings, if that makes sense. So 4 leaves. And then also it's giving me this leaf now. So it sold to me for $19 as a reverted variegated Monstera Peru. So I was like, this not just stay reverted. I'm not sure, but like I think that you can see the yellow here and a little bit here on the edge, and then this leaf is no, not this leaf. This leaf is completely hardened off, and it is a completely different. Like it's like a aria, like a yellowish color. So I'm hoping that that means that this is giving me some variegation. Or either way, we're going to hold on to it and see if it ends up being pretty variegated. That'll be awesome. I put it in pond and it's just in a closed system for now. This is just like a little piece of plastic from like the Dollar Tree, which if y'all are sleeping on the Dollar Tree, then I don't know what's up because I use the Dollar Tree for all my glass and plastic. But we'll see how it does, and if it's variegated, then I will do some things with it, and if it's not, then I'm going to pot it right up with its green counterpart over here and call it a day. Those are my Monstera Peru. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is my Monstera dubia. And so this plant had already climbed the pole like completely, and it was like going over the pole, and I didn't have time to do an extension, and some of the leaves were like flopping off the side. So it just wasn't like visually appealing to me. So I chopped her up, and I chopped her down to this leaf. And within a month, I have all these leaves. And plus, I'm not sure if you can see, there's like the teeniest, tiniest leaf, like right there, which is so weird. But we'll see what it does. It's giving me multiple vines, multiple leaves. I also have so many cuttings of this. So I usually just give my cuttings to like coworker friends, or I'll get on the Facebook groups and kind of do trades or sell them for however much money. So I potted this one up just because it had like a significant root system in the other pole, and then it shot me out this leaf. So this is unfurling now, and I'm just going to put it on a pole. And I mean, I might make this available to like people locally here. We'll see. Sometimes people don't want plants here locally, so that's fine. I like, my plant, so we'll just do something with it. The last Monstera, my bigger one, is in like a chunky mix, and that smaller one is in leca. So this is semi-hydroponic, and that's kind of what I wanted, but it's doing so good in the chunky mix that like I don't want to mess it up. So, like I said, I have prop box after prop box with numerous cuttings. My next one was one of my favorites. It still is. I like have a back problem. Like if I run into like a visual issue, I'm like upset about it, which I think will dissipate as I like keep more and more plants. But like, look at my Thai Constellation. It's like gorge. Like, look at it. And then, so like it put out those 3 leaves. Like I just had this one as the original. And then it gave me its first fenestration, which I was so happy about. But it's doing something weird, and I'm not sure why. It's browning right here. It's browning right here. And I know that these are notorious for root rot, but like, y'all, look at those roots. That is not rot. This root system is banging. So what's going on with my Thai Constellation is what I want to know. Also, I mean, like I spray it with neem oil whenever I water sometimes, but like I don't put it right back in the light and all that, so it shouldn't be like burned. But I'm just gonna leave it alone. I like really want to chop it off for no reason, which is not what you should do. I just is who I am. So this is my Thai Constellation, and I love it except for the two little brown spots. And it's like just like a weird texture comparatively. Like maybe it's not fully hardened off yet. I'm not sure, but it's just doing weird things, and it wasn't like that a week ago. So I'm just like disappointed. But I mean, things could be worse. Um, Also, while we're in the Monstera, this is my Albo. And I bought this as a single leaf cutting, that leaf. So when I bought it, it wasn't too expensive. I got it from Facebook, um, the plant group locally here in Lexington. So a beautiful leaf. I was just scared that it wouldn't be super variegated, but then it gave me this leaf, and I'm happy with that. Like that's a beautiful leaf, and this is a beautiful leaf, but like it's questionable whether it'll be too green, blah blah blah. So it gave me this leaf. I was happy with it, and then it gave me the middle leaf, which is beautiful. I love it. So also it came in like and I put it in like I up potted it because it kind of acted like it needed it from the smaller container it was in. It's got good roots. I'm hoping that the next leaf is my first fenestrated leaf because this plant's doing great. My Tycon was doing great, so I'm still sad, but no reason to be sad. We've got beautiful plants. But this is my Monstera Albo, and I really wanted to do my Monstera video like off the jump because I want to do it again in like 6 months and just see where like these plants are. So we'll see what kind of things happen between now and then. I think like sometimes it's important to remember that like plant growth isn't always linear. So even though people's plants do grow up poles and they do get bigger and more beautiful, and that's great. Sometimes you have to cut them back, and sometimes they rot, and sometimes it doesn't mean that anything is going bad because of you. It's just growth is not always linear. So this is my Siltepecana. It's on a pole, and you guys should see how much this has grown. I'm gonna put some images somewhere to show you like what it looked like when I first potted it up, and then now. I think I put this on a pole in March. So I love it. The only thing I don't love is that like this started out with 3 cuttings, so I put one in the middle and like one on each side. And the light source is right in the middle, so I don't understand, but they've all kind of navigated to this side, and then there's like you see that section there that like doesn't have anything, but you see that plant right there, the closest one, that's like the plant that I planted all the way over here. So why is she all the way over there? I don't understand, but it looks good enough. I don't plan on extending this. She's about to get up there. What I plan to do is that when she's at the top of the pole, I'm just going to keep chopping, and hopefully that'll activate some axillary buds down here that'll branch off and fill up this side too. And then I'm just gonna keep her this nice little size, I think. I mean, her leaves are like upsizing, but I think this is one of those plants where they don't like get too big. I mean, like I think that they upsize, and I think maybe if you give them the right conditions, they might just keep doing it. But I don't ever see Siltepecana pictures of that, so I'm not sure, but I'll have to look more into it. Maybe I will grow it up a bowl. We'll see what the future holds. But this is my Monstera collection. I have 8 different types, and we will check back in like 6 months to see where they're at then. Obviously, you'll probably get like random updates between now and then. You guys can follow me on Instagram at ky.plant.daddy, so Kentucky Plant Daddy. And then, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to me here. I don't really know what I'm doing, so um, it'll be a fun road as I keep posting videos. If you guys need anything, just you can DM me on Instagram. And thank you guys for watching.